Hello and welcome to OZChris versus Absolute Carnage for week 2 of September, here with reviews of Carnage versus Deadpool number 1, Symbiote of Vengeance number 1, and Venom number 18. And you're probably wondering, you've mentioned three titles, there is only currently one of them, which is the latter, Venom. I bought the digital copies of the first two, and I've recorded a review for those earlier, so I'll just put that in first for Carnage vs. Deadpool and Symbiote of Vengeance. Absolute Carnage vs. Deadpool, issue number 2, written by Frank Thierry, art by Marcelo Ferreira, coloring by Rachel Rosenberg, and the cover by Tyler Kirkham and Arif Priento. Deadpool has escaped from the Carnage overrun asylum, but the latter has realized the former's significance to his codex hunt. Converting several inmates to his cause, Carnage sends them to kill Deadpool and retrieve his spine for him. But Deadpool isn't backing down without a joke-filled fight. Story, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. While it progressed the story at a nice pace, it was average, not particularly interesting. It was just there for, dumb fun entertainment. A lot of the jokes weren't humorous, at least to me, and kind of fell a bit flat. The art and the coloring, I'll give a 4 out of 5. It's good art and coloring. My personal favorite page is of Spidey and Venom fighting off against Carnage's minions. The cover, I'll give a 3.5 out of 5. While the art and coloring is good, it's an above average looking cover, which is disappointing given how great issue number 1's cover was. On to Absolute Carnage, Symbiote of Vengeance number 1, written by Ed Bryson, art by Juan Figueri, coloring by Dono Sanchez Almara, and cover by Philip Ten and J. David Ramos. Set before the events of Absolute Carnage number 1, Danny Ketch is sent by Johnny Blaze to help a former Ghostwriter, Alejandro Jones, because due to a previous story arc called the Circle of Four, Red Hulk was given both the Venom symbiote and the Spirit of Vengeance, and when the spirit was returned to Alejandra, it unintentionally received a symbiote codex from Venom, making Alejandra one of Carnage's targets. So racing off to Nicaragua, Danny finds Alejandra and Carnage mid-fight, but everything goes horribly wrong as Carnage gets what he's here for and briefly takes on a Ghost Rider appearance with fiery powers, mimicking Ghost Rider's weapons and abilities, and fights Danny. But even in hell, Alejandra isn't done fighting yet. So story, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, an engaging, action-filled, good story, all self-contained within itself, and this isn't a requirement to read Absolute Carnage. What a tie-in should be, it's optional, it's set before the events, it doesn't particularly impact on the main story. The art and the coloring, I'll give it 4.5 out of 5. Great art and coloring, absolutely great, I loved it. And the cover, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. An amazing, awesome looking cover. And given that Bryson's going to be doing the new Ghost Rider series with Danny Ketch, even though I'm not particularly familiar with Ghost Rider, I'm actually more excited to read it now. I really liked this one shot, so if this is what we're getting in the new Ghost Rider ongoing series, then I'm all for it. I'm going to check out the number 1, see how it goes, and see if I want to continue reading it or even recommend it to you all. Venom number 18, written by Donny Cates, art by Ivan Coelho, coloring by Rain Barreto, the cover by Kyle Hotz and Dan Brown. So Sleeper, the one of Venom's spawns, as he calls himself, the 7th spawn of Venom. I believe, if I remember correctly, Sleeper's from the Venom First Host miniseries, where the symbiote was originally attached to one of the Kree, I believe it was. I haven't read that series. I did hear it's actually good. I will get around to reading that series, so I'm just going off from what I heard. But Sleeper recounts how he became involved with Absolute Carnage. So he arrived on the symbiote's planet, was forced to connect with it, and learned about Null and Null's intentions of escaping. So Sleeper thought the best idea was to head to Earth where Venom is, to help prepare in case Null does escape and heads to Earth to kill everyone. He'll pretty much kill everyone in the universe, but Sleeper believes their best chance is on Earth. So back to present day in the safe house, Sleeper just recounted his whole story to Dylan, revealing who he is, but the Maker incapacitates Sleeper and captures it, imprisons it with the rest of the Life Foundation symbiotes that he's dealt with. But Dylan is not happy about this, and he doesn't want the Maker to perform his tests until Spidey and Venom come back with Norman, not knowing that they failed. But Dylan launches his own kind of rebellion against the Maker, frees all of the symbiotes, but they all merge together with the Maker to make a hybrid or Maker symbiote, which I'm just going to call him. And Dylan and Normie are forced to go on the run from the Maker symbiote. So story, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Definitely good story, really good, progressing really well. The art and the coloring, I'm going to give this. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 as well. Good art, good coloring. Really, really liked it. Definitely the first few pages here with Sleeper, I would say, are the best when it comes to the art and coloring. The cover, I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5. It is a great cover, great art, great coloring. The positioning here is amazing. Problem is, Venom is not in this. Despite the fact the comic is called Venom, there's a lack of Venom. You overhear Maker talking to Venom, that scene from Absolute Carnage #2. So this is kind of set in between issue #1 and issue #2. So which I probably recounted already before in a previous review, but Venom doesn't make an appearance in this, so you don't get this shot of the Maker and Venom teaming up to fight off against Carnage or any of the Carnage minions, symbiotes, whatever. But it is a great cover regardless. So that is it for those review for those 3 Absolute Carnage titles. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.